Children, we won't be going back to the fleet. You're about to be the first children from the stars to set foot on the planet Earth.
I have something here for you. It's the weapon of a Jedi.
Then I am a Jedi.
Welcome to Civilized Sabers live stream. We are going to build a Dual Star Omega today. If you don't know what that is a certain type of Neopixel lightsaber blade that has the highest resolution of any Neopixel blade out there. It's got 264 LEDs per side of the blade. There's two sides, which means there's 528 LEDs inside the blade, and I make them with strips called 332. There's 332 LEDs per meter. We're going to cut it down a little bit to make it 264. So these are what the packages look like of the LEDs that I'm going to be using. Now I see, let me see who's in the back room here. I think I saw Jake. Okay, if let me try to pull in Jake and Jedi Arms Dealer. Give me 1 second. There they are.
Space Windu is a space pimp.
Space pimp.
If you guys didn't know that before, you know it now. Space Windu is a space pimp. It's official.
That's true. That's true.
So, thank you. Oh my God, thank you. I can't wait to make the coupler. Space gifted this bad boy to me. This bad boy to me, and I couldn't wait to install mine. So it's installed and ready to go. So now I just got to make them twins, make the coupler.
You know what you look like there? You look like Star Killer.
I know.
Too.
Hold them in your biceps like he does on the promo poster.
My biceps, like this. Wait.
Yeah, but like you cross your arms. Do that, but you like put them in the cuffs of your. Like,
all right.
Oh yeah.
All right.
There we go.
Space Windu's a space pimp. There's my new logo poster right there. Hell yeah.
That is sick. Yeah, I want to take a look at that one that you've installed. Did you do any weathering to it, or is it clean?
I went the other way with it and polished the shrouds, almost mirror. Yeah, it's too hot outside to bust out the 8-inch polisher, but I did the mouse polish.
Lean over and see if I can look at you through.
I haven't been this excited about a Saber in forever.
You know what? In my screen here, it looks like you've blued it. It looks like you've like done the like the burned weathering, or you know, like that's just the color that's coming across on my screen.
Oh yeah, it must have something to do with the lighting in my room. I kind of see what you mean.
Wow, that looks awesome. So you put a CF10 in there?
I did, and thanks to Tristan's videos, I was able to unlock all the different pixel accent using the Pixies thing. So Crystal Chamber's on its own channel with 1 pixel. The buttons are on their own channel, and they're now my single pixel PLI, so I can tell how much battery life I have left, depending on how these are illuminated from green to yellow to red on the battery level spectrum. and then I dropped the stock, one of my leftover stock 5 pixels in there. So yeah, after unlocking watching those videos and unlocking everything, I can do whatever I want now with the pixels. I'm in love with this saber. It was so easy to install, Space. You got to do yours. Oh my God. I did. Well, I had it up and running and with a heartbeat in 2 days. It's just that easy.
Is this like a custom? Are these two like paired as like a custom like lathe job, or is it a bunch of MHS pieces, or what's the story behind that?
No, there's an artist, Gary Morris, that's been doing badass one-off builds for years. And Space and I have been following his work, and most of his stuff is like 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 and up for one-off machined hilts, and that's full installs. When he does it, he does the whole deal.
Oh, okay.
So he did a super small run of these, and I had to have one. So I shot Space the link, and then I'm pretty sure you got your own, didn't you, Space?
Yeah. I did an unboxing of it on I think my Space Windu channel. And
I knew
kept
that
one, and I immediately ordered you one too, because I didn't know that you got your own. But then when I found out you got your own, I was like, well, he can get two. You're gonna have 2 of them,
Yeah, man. Oh, I'm so stoked.
It does look like almost like a Fallen Order design too. So I thought, as a staff, that could work.
Even an Old Republic design, like the multi-layering on that is very nice. The bars going up the side. Hell yeah.
Totally gorgeous. And like what they did with the crystal chamber. Let's see if I can get it. Is it focusing? There we go. Oh, maybe not. All right, come back to me. Oh, look at that. It'll do close-ups. No shit. Hey, I didn't know this camera would do that live. So yeah, there's your crystal chamber pulsing with the CFX.
That's spherical crystal.
So when I fire it up, then the buttons just go into like random mode, and they're PLI when I shut it down. Hey, thanks, Jim Smith. Thanks, buddy. It does have a blue shine. It's so weird. But yeah, this was a lot of fun because it's been forever since I've just done a quick install for myself. But I'm loving it.
Is that crystal you chose? Is that like a glass ball, or what is that?
It is, and it has glow in the dark material in it. So let's say, after it goes to sleep, this glows in the dark.
Huh.
So when it goes to sleep, I'll hold it back up and show you guys. Like the crystal ball has like bits of glow in the dark somehow molded into it. So it's really cool because if you have like a bright colored blade, it like warms up or whatever. The glow in the dark material takes on light, and then it like glows afterwards.
Wow.
So
and what did you utilize for buttons? Like your buttons are light up buttons?
Yeah, so I made my own custom buttons. They are flat top. All right, let me see. Come on, focus, buddy. It's gonna do it. I know it. They're flat top LEDs. And so I made like a little acrylic switch plate behind there to house them, and use that super gooey sticky tape that you and I have been messing with on the blades today, Space.
Yeah.
To hold brass tactile switches. And then if you notice on mine, I drilled an extra hole for mounting for the buttons, and used a super tiny 256 bolt to hold the mounting plate on the back. So if you look between the 2 buttons on mine, you see that extra screw in between the buttons, and notice the one you sent me does not have that. So that was the screw that I used to hold the buttons in backwards, back plated. And then so I use clear acrylic for the bracket behind the buttons so that it lights them up.
Dude, I freaking love how the bars go up the side like that.
Yeah, that's why I fell in love with this.
But it's uniform too, so the bars go up the side, but it still completes like the flushness of the saber, like it's all one piece. Even the crystal chamber doesn't even look like it's supposed to be covered, like it's just one solid thing,
Yeah, it's a great take on an exposed crystal chamber. I had to have it. I'm glad Anthony got one too, and then sent me a second one. And I'm gonna make a staff, and maybe he'll maybe when he comes out here or something, we'll shoot some video or. Like that's just going to be insane. So I got to go over to Jack's and make a coupler for it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get online and like start learning how to spin a bow staff so we can like make it look cool somehow. We got to learn.
Hey, and I'll teach you. I'll teach you how to do it.
I mean, that's just going to be epic. But thank you again, Anthony. This I was not expecting that. That's insanity, dude. Thank you so much.
I'm surprised you opened
Number-
that box already.
Oh, of course, man.
You weren't afraid of my
Kinda.
disease.
Yeah, how are you doing, by the way, bud?
I'm feeling a little bit better today. A little bit better yesterday. The day before that was rough, and
Yeah, that's when I texted
like the
you,
hospital
man.
over the weekend, trying to improve, and getting a little better now. So thank you. Yeah.
Right on, man. Yeah, that's no joke.
Yeah. I avoided it for a few years now, and then it finally hit me. I got the vid.
The vid.
This is it.
The coof. I never heard anybody call it that. I had to Google it.
You had to look it up when I wrote to
I
you.
did. Yeah, I was like, you got the coof? Is that like an autofill for
Is that a
cough?
new disease?
I hope. That's what I was thinking.
I shared my link into one of the Discord groups I'm in. So
Oh, thank
Average is one of my buddies that showed up here.
Awesome. Welcome,
chat,
Average.
so, yeah.
Welcome, Jim Smith. Titan Gray is here. Thank you for being here, you guys.
Yeah.
Decided to do a little stream tonight. Keep my mind off not feeling perfect. And I think that's the way to go, because the doctors start saying keep moving and don't lay down and all that stuff. So
yeah.
I think it's helping to move around and finally do something and get back to what I really like to do, to make these blades. So I thought I'd show you how to make a Dual Star Omega for anybody that wants to make one themselves, at least get started tonight. I don't know if it'll be finished, but just try to get one going. And I've already got a little bit of a head start, because I took a Dual Star Omega chip and I've pre-tinned it, and I also put the resistor, the 330 resistor, in the middle there already, so that'll save us a little bit of time. And the Dual Star Omega is not very complicated. It's just got a couple little tricks that you have to know if you want to make one yourself. And I'm going to put these Dual Star Omega chips, PCBs, on Civilized Sabers website. That'll basically be the only thing you'd need from me, and then you could get the 332 strips from anywhere online. These are from Adafruit, so I just purchase what I think is like the best ones, but you don't have to pay this much for these. Just for a half a meter like this, I think it's $40 or $35. We're going to need 4 of these, so we're talking $140 just for the LEDs that I get. But you can find these cheaper online. You can actually find ones that are not RGB like these. These will make millions of colors, but if you wanted to do something different, they have 332 LEDs like this that are like white, different shades of white. Instead of RGB, we'll have, like, let's say white, yellow, and something, different color combinations, like if you want to get fancy and play around with your Neopixel that way. But for the most part, I think people want RGB, so that's what these are. If you were going to do like an Ahsoka blade or like a dark saber blade, you might want like the white ones. But this type of LED strip, as you can see, if you guys can let me know if it's visible, but this is a strip of LEDs, but it looks like it's just one piece, because the LEDs are so close together in there that they're literally just stacked.
Now that has the waterproof filament on it, right?
Right. So we're going to actually end up removing that. And if you're choosing, like, this is how they come through Adafruit, but there's other places like eBay and different places that are going to sell these. And you can choose to not have the waterproofing on. If you can choose, I would say don't use the waterproofing. We're not Kit Fisto. We don't really need that. And I'm going to have to take it off anyway. So
Yeah,
I'm going to
speak for
start
yourself,
by
man.
taking them off.
I want to be Kit Fisto.
Maybe somebody's Kit Fisto in here.
Barb's Basement's here. He's another one of my good buddies here.
Oh, welcome.
But yes, so that's what I wanted to ask you too. So you, right at the intro, you said the Dual Star Omega has the best resolution when it comes to LED count. So I know when you make the blades for Civilized Sabers, the star like category of the blades like qualify how many LED strips are in it. So like dual is obviously 2, TriStar is 3, quads 4. But why would Dual Star be the brightest?
Well, the regular Dual Star is two strips of LEDs, like this blade's going to be. What I call the Omega is this type of Dual Star. Like a Dual Star would normally be made of these type of LEDs here. So this is more of a normal, what I call a normal strip of LEDs, 3535, which means they're 3.5 millimeter size LEDs. So instead of what normal, well, not, you know, instead of what the mainstream uses, they will use 50/50s, which is a 5 millimeter square LED. This is a smaller LED than what your normal, you know, Saber company is going to use. So these are very thin, and I could diffuse them pretty well. It's only 7 millimeters wide from one edge to the other edge, and when we put these back to back, which is like, you know, a Dual Star blade that I will make. These will be back to back, and you can see how small it is. And you know, these are great for inside a 7/8 or inside a 1-inch blade. You can diffuse them, and they'll really look nice and seamless, and they'll really work well as a blade because they're very efficient LEDs.
Yeah, so the 35s are brighter because since they're tightly packed, they're able to fit more on the strip. Is what you're saying? Is, you know?
Well, actually, the 3535 here, compared to the 50/50, they both will have 144 per meter. The spacing in between will appear smaller in a sense if I was showing you the 50/50, because the LED is bigger. But with these LEDs that I use to make the Dual Star Omega, I classify like the Dual Stars, the ones you could duel with as well. So it's kind of a play on the word dual. Like you could duel with it, and it's dual meaning 2. So this strip here, the LEDs are more like SMD LEDs. They're even smaller than the 3535, and they're more tightly packed. So that's why we can get 332 of these in a meter versus the 144 that you could consider like a standard strip.
And those are more expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are newer as well. So this is something that like came out a year or 2 ago, whereas the standard Neopixel strips like this here have been out for, I don't know, I would say at least 5 or 6 years, like this, maybe longer. These are kind of a newer design. Like pretty often they put out like a new style of strip, but most of the time when a new style of strip comes out, it's not ideal for lightsaber making. But when you have something like this where these LEDs are like stacked so tightly together, this is the perfect thing for a lightsaber blade. But for someone that's looking for the brightest blade, the Dual Star Omega is not the brightest blade. This is simply just the highest resolution. So for people like you know, Tristan or Robert Sotomayor that's going to make their own blade styles and stuff, this could be a lot of fun because you could see in your blade like a lot more going on than you would when there's less LEDs. So you can really like get the most out of your fire effect, get the most out of your lightning effects and different things, because you will really see like a lot happening here. That's kind of the point of these, and it just looks so smooth when you're done that it's quite nice for a lightsaber blade. But again, like I say, it's not the absolute brightest because these are smaller LEDs, right?
Tiny, micro. I couldn't believe it when you sent me those. I was like, you got to be kidding me. They're making them this small, packing them together. BK asks, I've always wondered, do these extra bright star blades draw more power from the battery versus a typical pixel strip blade? Space.
The typical pixel strip blade being made out of 50/50s, meaning the 5 millimeter size, is probably going to actually draw more power than like something like our TriStar, because the strip is more power hungry than these strips that I use here. These 3535s are pretty efficient, and we actually get like either a similar runtime or more than you would with like a pixel stick, because the pixel stick LEDs are more power hungry. They're bigger. When you have it almost evens out, considering when in a TriStar we're going to put like 350 of these LEDs, whereas a similar size pixel stick blade would have about 240. So we are talking another 100 LEDs, but they're smaller and more efficient. So it almost evens out. And in our tests and stuff, we haven't really noticed too much of a power situation when we're dealing with a TriStar. But I've noticed with these Dual Star Omegas, considering they have 528 LEDs in the blade versus 350 for a TriStar or 240 for a similar length pixel stick, these are sucking some power from your blade, but not as much as, let's say, a Quad Star when I put 4 of these sides in it, right? The Quad Star kind of sucks the battery. The PENTA-STAR sucks the battery even more. But for a TriStar, the answer to the question is I would say it's about even, or even more efficient than a standard blade.
Hey, that just means we got to go back to our roots, right? We got to have the battery pack with the string on our belt. That's the only way to have a better battery.
Start wielding, a PENTA-STAR or a Quad Star at the con. Yeah, you might want to have an extra battery to pop in. I know a lot of people make like removable batteries now for their Saber.
I know they do it, but I've not seen, at least in practical use, like in person, like a chassis for a Neopixel setup, like a Crystal Focus or a Profi or anything like that, where they can like fully remove the battery and then put a new one in. Mine have always been built right into the Saber, like right into the chassis, and I just keep recharging the same one.
Right. That's my normal method of like building them too. But I know a lot of people now with the chassis that easily is exposed when you unscrew the bottom part of the hilt, let's say. Mm-hmm. They, like the ones Mad Cow will make at Genesis Custom Sabers, or like Jeremy at Solo Sabers will always make it so that they can remove the battery and put in a new one, or kind of have a fully charged one ready.
That's a nice option. Yeah, I haven't seen the recent Ultra Saber stuff, but I know they had that thing where every single Ultra Saber's blade that you ordered that came with sound, whether it was I think they call it Emerald. They had some sort of name categorized that you can like diminish the different sound fonts and boards and all that kind of stuff. But their removable chassis had just like a strip of Velcro that wrapped around the batteries. I remember that. It didn't look too professional, but it worked. Whatever gets the job done, right?
I'm just removing the wires that came on here. I am going to put these aside and use those along with the blade that we make here. But first, what I'm going to have to do is like take the casing off these, and we are going to have to connect them one strip to another to actually form the length of a regular length lightsaber blade. As you can see, this is only 0.5 meter.
That's nice. Michael Strombeck says the future PENTA-STAR will have enough to be a constellation. And then he says, evening, these guys really do make the best swords.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, man. That's why he's a space pimp.
People really don't understand. I know Harris will go on his rants, but you got to listen to Harris, man. He knows what he's talking about too. People don't really understand what goes into making these blades. You spend a couple $100 on the material, and then the labor to try to whip it up together. And they wonder how come it's $200, $300 for a blade. It makes sense. It really does.
And I also want to make it like available so that people can do it themselves, you know. So I'm trying to like not keep secrets here and show you just like how to do it, and like any little tips I learned along the way. Like the most I guess difficult would be the word, like part of this blade is to actually join the two strips together. So I'll show you the couple tips or a couple tricks I learned along the way, and that way if you want to try it at home, you can get it done easier than having the learning curve that I had to have figuring it out. Because these can, if you don't connect them right, it's not going to look seamless. Like, you know, these LEDs are so close together on this strip that you have to mimic that when you join it, and that's not the easiest thing to do.
Is
But
it easier to mess up too, though?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you could, you know, you might see me mess up tonight. You know, I'm not perfect at it, but what you can do is, since we're actually not going to use like, see, these two together will be almost a meter, and I'm going to make this blade at about 32 inches. So if I screw up a little bit, and let's say, and believe me, I've destroyed these strips before. If I end up destroying one of these strips or part of it, I have an opportunity to cut on the back here and try again, sort of. So there's multiple copper pads, as you could tell. And what I can do is, like, let's say some LED, you know, I'll test them as I make it. And if some LEDs start to look wonky or they're not fully colored, because you could lose, like, let's say if I put too much heat on this with my soldering iron, I could actually burn some of the diodes out. So maybe some of them won't show red or some of the LEDs won't show blue. And I'll be able to tell that through my test before I actually like fully assemble the blade. And then I can cut that part out, not use that section, or worse come to worse. A couple of weeks ago, I actually found that one of these strips was completely bad and I had to discard it totally. So that's annoying, but hopefully that won't happen to us tonight.
Yeah, that must be rare. So you basically just kept going down the line trying to solder to the 3 copper pads,
Yeah,
and you got
I
nothing,
like
huh?
wasted, you know, like every 15 minutes trying to resolder to the next, and then I decide to like, oh, I'm going to skip 4 panels, and I would be like, you know, I'm getting close to having to discard this strip because now it's almost not long enough, and then realize that the entire strip was like going rainbow, not connecting well to the data line. The center line here is the data line, and that's usually what's like the problem if something's going weird. If it's not the individual LEDs, it's like the data line, and that actually happened to me. So I had to discard the entire half meter, you know, which, like I said, is like probably like $40 with these. So that's pretty expensive to have that mistake happen, but it's usually, since I buy like what I think is like a quality strip here, I haven't, you know, maybe that happened once with these, but it's happened.
Yeah, and then to add to what JT was saying, Space and I had a few hour session today. He's kind of showing me the ropes on how to build a TriStar, and it takes a while. I did get to the point, Anthony, where I was able to test all 3 strips, you know, on the core, but haven't gotten to the heat. So everything's working good. I put on my sunglasses like you told me, because I started seeing spots at first when I tried it, and I was like, oh, that's why I got the sunglasses out. Cool.
You almost need like a welder shield.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I keep like, I'll show you, like I keep like old sunglasses here. So this is like sunglasses I used for a few years and then they got scratched up. So now I use them here to look, because you don't want to, you know, when you're done with the blade, you have all this diffusion on it. It's maybe not going to hurt your eyes, but when it's raw like this, or even these, the raw LEDs, and we want to kind of focus on them when we're testing them, right? Because I want to make sure like this LED is blue, red, and green. And I want to make sure this LED has blue, red, and green. So I'd be changing the colors during my test and kind of focusing on this with my eyes. And then the next thing you know, you turn off your tester, you look away, and you're still seeing those lines. So it's better for your
That's what
eyes. If
happened.
when you're making one of these, just use an old pair of sunglasses. Like Jedi Arms Dealer has prescription glasses. He has prescription sunglasses. So he just put those on, and he was still able to protect his eyes while still seeing, what was going
Yeah,
on.
but I forgot at first, and then I shut the blade off, and I was like, "Oh crap, that's what Anthony was talking about. I'm seeing stars right now."
Yeah, for a while I was
They don't call them Space Windu for nothing.
like I had these, which I got at Home Depot. These were like $5, and they have a little bit of tint on them, which worked for me for some time. I like these as safety glasses, but I actually broke out, the actual sunglasses when it just got to be too much. So
I better see some Space Windu branded Civilized Sabers glasses on your website.
That's a great idea.
Gonna make like a little
awesome
symbol.
idea, JT.
That is a good idea.
Brilliant.
Oh, I'd buy them. I definitely would.
Absolutely, man. That's hilarious. You're gonna be here. You're gonna
do the
need
good bit of
these.
Yeah, you could do the premium one. They come with the headphones that are built in.
Yeah, see, I was thinking T-shirts, but JT brought it to the next level.
Yeah, man. Blade's so bright, I gotta wear shades.
So I'm partly through taking off this waterproof, and as you can see, this takes a little bit of time. This is probably the you could save this time if you didn't get the waterproofing type of strips, but this is just how they come. I don't have the option through Adafruit to choose that, at least not yet.
Now,
But
for
I just
Neopixel, for Neopixel LEDs, do you typically only go with the company Adafruit, or is there someone else that you also?
Yeah,
dabble
pretty
in?
much. Like for experiments and stuff that I'm not sure about, I will order cheaper strips that, like, let's say from eBay or from Amazon, and do an experimental blade. Like my first PENTA-STAR was made with cheaper LEDs. That's because like I don't want to waste like $500 on something that may not work. Because when you need 5 strips into something, and the strips are $70 each, which they are for the 3535, I don't want to kind of waste that if the experiment doesn't work. So
yeah,
Rob.
And chat, you thought he'd be pissed off of ruining $40 worth of equipment? Wait till you hear him being pissed off worth of spending $500 and wasting.
Oh yeah, we'll turn off the mic at that point.
Not a good time. Not a good time at all.
Welcome,
up,
Rob.
What's up, gentlemen?
going on,
Hello.
Hey, I was able to join. I got some work to do here in the shop. So what I'm going to do is, just like Anthony, I'm just going to face my camera down and start machining stuff. I probably won't be engaging too much in the conversation because I'll be concentrating on not losing a finger or an arm or my life.
Wonderful. Keep concentrating on that.
Funny, not funny.
So I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to set up the camera, and then I'm going to rejoin the live stream. And the live stream will just be showing the area that's going to be machined. And then I'm going to stop. I'm going to go get some food because my food's being prepared. And then I'll rejoin in a proper fashion.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, guys.
That'll be interesting to see what Rob's up to in his machine
nothing
shop.
but
Yeah,
epic saber building on here.
I'm just going to be making some glass eyes for some customers. So nothing too crazy, nothing saber. It's more like gribbly stuff.
Now, what did those customers do to lose their eye?
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
I don't know, man. They looked into the hilt's blade holder.
Anthony's blades.
There you go.
like a makeshift prosthetic. Like some dude loses his eye, and he's like, Robert, okay, I don't have an eye, but I heard you do lightsaber stuff. Can you put like a diamond greebly in my eye? I want to be bougie, man.
I sure can. I can definitely do it.
That'd be sweet.
All right, guys. So I'm going to leave, and then I'll rejoin with the proper view.
Right on.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, guys.
Awesome.
I'll be right back.
Cool. Look at that. Blades and eyes.
That's a nice little mount you got that it's holding the wire for you. I just noticed.
Yeah, you're
that
going to
off
need
the
some
side.
like helping hands when you do stuff like this, because 2 hands is not enough.
Yeah, I like the gooseneck one. Where'd you get that, Anthony?
If you could see, I don't know if you could see right about here. Let me turn my camera. This is it's kind of rigged up here as I just have a Amazon. This came off something else, and then I
It's
zip
custom.
tied it. I zip tied it to a broken helping hands that used to have a magnifying glass, and then drilled that into my workstation here. So it's kind of a custom. If I could use that word, it's a custom.
Custom.
It's
Custom.
badass. It is custom.
I'd like the backstory to be that you just like walked in a junkyard and you just threw stuff together. You will help me, and you put like a robot like servo in it, and it's like Iron Man with the fire extinguisher when he's like trying to make the suit and all that, like the robot.
Oh, yeah. It's like the V1. It's like the Mark 1
Yeah.
Iron Man suit. 3 down, 1 to go, and hopefully these all work when I'm through, manhandling these. But these are quite delicate. I always think of the LED strips as pretty delicate, but once you get them into the blade and the blade is sealed up, then you're good to go. It's duelable once you're finished, but when you're building it is when I always say that's when something can go wrong. Like once it's all on the inside the blade, hard for something to go wrong then.
And when you say duelable, like how duelable? Do you mean like full contact, or you just mean like light sparring? Or
Yeah, I guess I kind of don't mean full contact, but I'm also like not going to ask questions. Like if you got one of these from me and you're like, I broke it, I'm not going to like grill you. I'll just be like, send it back. I'll fix it for you. What am I going to do? I'm not going to be there when you're whacking it against, a tree or something, but I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I've broken a TV before. Not my proudest moment.
These
That's why I make
Neopixel strip. Go ahead.
Like the blade's called the lamp savers is to save your TVs and stuff. Those are shorter, so you can't really whack them against too many things unless you're really close.
Mine was like a freak accident though, like years back when it was like Saber Forge, like V4 Infinity blades. I was just like spinning slow, like super slowly in my room, like my bedroom here, and I'm just trying to practice moves because I was just checking it out, whatever. I was a kid, and then I go to put it down, and of course it's like when I try to put it back, then it happens because I like trip on the corner of my bed and it like goes up like that, and the bullet tip jabs right in the TV. Boom, dead pixels. I'm like,
oh no,
son of a. Yeah.
Were you looking for a new TV anyway, or?
Yeah, kind of.
You could use that
yes
as an excuse.
Yeah, it was a nice TV, but yeah, I needed an upgrade, but I also would have liked to keep that one. Whatever.
This is
Just
the
the
one
nature
I'm
of the
really-
beast.
This is the blade I'm really looking forward to building. Is this
Yeah,
Omega
I think
stuff?
JAD would really like this one because this has got some cool animations when you're through, and then you can spend all once you're done with one of these blades, you can spend all your time with your programming and really like set it up the way you want and stuff.
Yeah, it's like you were saying. It's like 2 or 3 strips of mini TV screen up in there.
Yes, like if you had these strips, like let's say you were like JB Kuma and you made a screen out of these, you could watch TV on this. Like
Right.
if I did this and programmed it right, we could start seeing an image here. That's just how high resolution they are.
I've seen that. There's a company that I forget the name of it. I think it's called Enlight or not Enlight. What is that?
That's the one you were telling me about.
That's right. I forgot to send you the link. I'll do it here. I'll do it right as I'm finishing my thing here. This company makes it's like a hologram. It's like a spinning set of blades, and they have those micro LEDs on it. But when they spin so fast and they're programmed in the right direction,
they spell something or they show something, right?
Yeah, they have a sometimes you'll see in like a store display. Like I've only seen one in person, I think, because they're pretty hard. They're pretty new tech, but it's just a fan basically, but just like 4 spinning blades. All the LEDs are programmed right, and it'll make a full display, like a spinning shoe for a shoe store. One
Oh, I
person
know what you're talking about.
One person programmed it to be Leia Organa's message to Obi-Wan.
Those are
Like,
sick.
help me, Obi-Wan, get Obi-Wan. You know, it is awesome. So, and then the company that, like the main company that like does the best version of it, you can commission them to come out for a business trip. They'll get like 10 of them on a wall, and it's like 9 foot by 9 foot, full spinning display. It looks like Transformer, like Liquid Terminator kind of. It's so cool.
Hey, Space, I'm seeing JB Kuma in here, but it says oh, there he is. Okay, I'm gonna add him to the stream.
Awesome. His ears must have been ringing. What's going on, JT?
How's it going, fellas?
How you doing?
How you feeling today?
I've finally tested negative, so I'm doing good.
I
guys
gave
get
JB the vid
Oh
earlier
no!
in the month.
The vid again, man.
JB was over, and he doesn't visit much, and then he ain't gonna visit again, probably.
So the first time I've gone to visit somebody or done anything besides seeing my family in like 3 months, I go to see Anthony and come home with COVID.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh.
I am so happy your symptoms were milder, and you weren't complaining too much to me. So hopefully you didn't feel it as egregiously.
No, I just had like fever for one day, and then kind of been congested for the past week or so.
Dang.
It's
I
very
didn't know
weird. When I had COVID, I had nothing. Not a single symptom. I was just
Lucky.
I'm positive. And then my mom gets it, and she's like down for the count, you know.
Yeah.
How did you know you had it?
I think it was just like a slight ear irritation. I don't
Cool.
know.
And you tested because of that. Interesting.
Well, I tested because I think I was going somewhere.
Oh, okay.
And I had to test to get into the building or something. I forget, you know, what exactly it was. But yeah, I was like, oh, I guess I'm staying home. So, yep.
I'm glad you're okay from that. That's nice not to feel it, and then you get the protection of having it, I guess. Hopefully you're a little bit immune for a while.
Yeah, but you get the different strands and stuff. Never can be too sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just got my my second booster, so my 4th shot, like I guess like a month ago now. So it was like 2.5 weeks before I ended up getting COVID again. So,
Oh, jeez, man.
yeah, it doesn't cover that new variant, but I ended up with relatively mild symptoms. So
I'm glad to hear that, JB, because I'm up to 4 shots now. I'm like majorly immunocompromised, so I'm pretty nervous about that whole thing. But I was just telling the guys that Space is a real space pimp. I didn't know he was that kind of space pimp going around spreading diseases and stuff.
Patient 0.
yeah, I just got this awesome body modification done, so that's why I got my shot.
Ah,
Yeah.
You got your 5G signal implanted?
Yeah. I have a bunch of like antenna wires now, so I'm like super good.
that's awesome. How do I get that?
You have some guy poke a hole in your heart, and then need emergency to save your life.
You need arc reactor. We were just talking about Iron Man. This is great.
Yeah. I have an arc reactor here somewhere.
Oh my gosh.
That was actually my so I started like this whole heart thing like 2 years ago. So then that Halloween I made myself an arc reactor.
Nice.
It's awesome.
It's good to finally meet you on here, JB.
Yeah. They're always so late. I work at 6:30 in the morning, so it's usually too late for me.
Yeah, we've been in circles around the Saber stuff for a while because I was like all over like DIY and stuff when you guys were messing with all that way back in the day when it first started.
Yeah,
So.
it's still are installing that, and
I know. I've got like 3 of them.
like it's hard to support because even when I was actively developing it, I wasn't actually actively using it. I've always just installed like more or less complete custom setups in all of my Sabers.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of like developing my own branch and then just like adding stuff back in as I went.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that you know how to do that for each individual Saber.
Yeah, it's
And then the Infinity Stones, damn.
yeah, that one it's kind of I don't know what's wrong with it. It's got to kind of get rewired. That was kind of like my prototype. My intention was always to rebuild it for real. And then
Cool.
you know how art projects go. It's like you finished your art, you don't need more of the same art.
Yeah.
So real quick here, what email do you prefer me to send you the LED strips to? Is it the iCloud or the Gmail one? DJ Dave or Dr.
Yeah, you can use the DJ Dave Maltese at Gmail. That's
Okay.
easy.
Awesome. And yeah, I was kind of like Anthony, where I was pretty safe from COVID when it comes to
Nice,
that.
JB.
Like I'm pretty careful, wash my hands, hand sanitize, and all of that. So I was never vaccinated, but at the beginning of the month here, I had to plan it out because actually in a week and a half, I'll be down or up in Canada for Fan Expo Canada, which is a convention. And to cross the border, you need to have proof of 2 doses of vaccination. So,
Oh wow.
So yeah, I had to plan. I was planning for a couple months here about going to this, but I'm getting vaxxed just for this.
Well, good. It might be perfect timing because when I asked my doctor, see, I went to the doctor for a physical in July, a month ago. And I said, you know, he had asked me, are you vaccinated? And I said, well, I got the 2 shots. When should I get the 3rd? And he said, wait until the fall. Wait until the fall when it's flu season. Then you get the shot, the 3rd. So a couple weeks later, I ended up coming down with it. Anyway, which, you know, actually it might be a little bit lucky that it was during the summer because I'll tell you, some of these chills and stuff that I was experiencing are like, thank God it wasn't winter here. You know, I really hope that the shot works for you, JT, and that maybe you know, help you become immune to it or whatever.
Yeah. Cole Weathers says, got COVID a month ago and it knocked me in the dirt. Rough stuff, triple vax. So hopefully that lessens the symptoms. See, that makes me nervous because even though I'm 4 shots in, you know, I just can't afford to get it because I'm major.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, rough stuff, man.
The CDC was saying, well, at least I read the CDC report said that, now this is going back a month ago, that if you were thinking about getting a booster, whether you're getting the 3rd or the 4th, get it now. You'll still be able to get, whenever they come out with the new vaccine in the fall, that'll cover the new variants. So I just got it as soon as I was like, you know, I had my surgery and it was like, I had trouble walking and stuff for the first few weeks. And then as soon as I was able to get out on my own, I got the booster because my partner, she teaches, she's in theater and stuff. So she does her best to be safe, but you know, she's on the subway, you know, with students and stuff all the time. So ironically, I'm the one who's like super, super careful. And then Anthony tried to kill me, but I survived.
Anthony tried to kill me.
Played a little clip. I need him.
Yeah.
I need him.
Up and dig deep.
No.
JB is my designer for all of my equipment here, and I need JB.
That's funny.
Have you tried the new Lux meter yet?
No, I was actually showing Jedi Arms Dealer this earlier. Doesn't this guys remind you guys of the macro?
God, yes.
And I just love the look of this. JB made this for me so I could test 2 blades at once.
Dude.
And this is going to be pretty sweet when I put this into effect, because then we'll be able to see like what's brighter like now, rather than, you know, putting one blade in, taking it out, getting the reading, putting another one. Now we have 2 right next to each other. and I'll be able to test 2 blades at once. So we're going to put this into effect pretty soon. I'll make a video of that as well.
Looks like a pair of electro binocs.
Yeah, I was going to make like a little video where it looked like I was looking through them like Luke, and then reveal what it actually is.
Just like on the beach. Just looking at Dave, did you get that email?
No, but I got this clip.
I need him.
Let me check.
It's been a while since I've like started to put these in my room, so I didn't have the link, but I had the screenshot of the brand and like the full stats and everything. You should be able to find it fairly quick.
I did find a brand on Amazon that kind of fits what I'm using them for, because I need them shorter, like less than 16 feet for what I'm using them for saber stands.
Gotcha.
So, but no, I want to check out the link you sent me. It's still, Gmail is sluggish. I'll just leave it open.
So with these strips here, these 332 per meter strips, you don't get an arrow anywhere like you do on a normal Neopixel strip to tell you which direction it's going. Like, I don't know if you could tell on my camera here, but there's a little tiny arrow. Where is it? Oh, I don't see it. Oh yeah, it's very tiny. I doubt you'll be able to see it, but it's pointing this way to let you know where you start from, where you build the blade from. But on these 332, there's nothing. They just show the ground and they show the positive. And you know that the middle line is the data, but there's no arrow on here at all. So what I did was I had to figure it out through the spec sheet on the website for these, and then I just draw my own arrow on the back. You won't see it when the blade's on and stuff, but that's just for me to know which direction to go.
I was just looking for some of the other gadgets I made. Like this is
oh, cool.
a test kit that I made, and it has a couple knobs and stuff on it. So this was like you put the blade in one side, the saber in the other side, so you can meter the amp, the currents going through it at your voltage level. It'll log it all, and then it has a plug here that I had like a little clamp that would go on the blade for the light meter. And I had
so it was almost like a multimeter for the current and the voltage going to the blade from the connector.
It's just like a purpose-built multimeter.
That's important. That's cool as shit.
Yeah.
A life of significance.
Apparently, I took all the controllers out of it and batteries, so it doesn't work. But I made another little one. I don't know where the heck it is. But yeah, I don't know. At some point, I go back and forth on just making like a bunch of those things, and then seeing who's interested in that sort of thing.
That's awesome.
Did you make Anthony's first one that he had?
Yes.
Because I've never seen like a lightsaber reader like before like that.
Yeah, that was
that whole concept is just awesome.
Well, the very first one I had to kind of construct myself out of a light meter that my friend Stephen McLaren sent me. He's a photographer. I believe he's a photographer, and he had one of these light meters. So what I did was I built a box, and I forget who, maybe JB told me how to do it, or Irv gave me the idea, or I forget. It was a bunch of years ago, and so I built a box with 3 holes. One hole was the light meter sensor, and there's 2 holes for the blade to go through, and I would get the reading off that. But my friend Steven was just letting me borrow the light meter, and about 5 years later he asked for it back, and that's when JB says, I'll make you one. And that's the one that you all see in my videos, where it's kind of attached to the wall, and I stick the blade in, I can get the reading out of. And then just recently when he came over, he brought me this one, which is 2-in-1, pretty awesome. JB also made me this, which is a sweet custom power supply. So I get constant power to drive LED strips and stuff.
Wow.
And what I'm using here to attach to the blades is the wires that actually came with these strips. So these strips, you know, they have so many LEDs in them that comes with a pretty hefty, like 22 or 20 gauge wire here. So I'm using that exact wire for the positive and negative, and then my data wire is just like a 28 gauge silicone covered wire. Your data doesn't really need to be robust, so you could pick whatever data you'd like.
And those are meter long strips, Space?
These are half, so I'm going to show you how to like join them.
Okay.
That's the, you know, kind of the worst part of making one of these is joining the strips, because that's when things can go wrong, and that's when it could kind of look ugly if it's not done right.
JB, you got a fan.
Yeah, my beard is because I've been having my medical situations. It's just kind of, I sort of trimmed it up a little bit today to clean it up because I went out in public for the first time in a while. But yeah, the best part of working from home and COVID was nobody can complain about intermediate beard stages.
You get a free pass.
Yeah. You know, my partner prefers the beard.
That's
So
awesome.
So where do you pick up like the wire
For this
that you
blade here,
use? Yeah, so like the 28 gauge wire and all that. Because I know like
That
Radio
I-
Shacks and stuff were out of business.
let me think. Where did it was probably a link from. Well, I can show you the box here. This is the one I'm using.
drive
Yeah,
day.
you can actually buy a similar kit to that at the custom saber shop.
Yeah, this I can't remember if I got, you know, that at the custom saber shop. I think I may have gotten this, or no, this was from Spark Fun. This is a thicker gauge. I don't know what it says which gauge this is. I think this is 26. And then I have these two silicone based styles. I'm using the thinner one here for this data line. I usually use like a 28 for the data line, although you could use 30 if you want to go even thinner. There really doesn't matter for that. But for the positive and negative there, I'm just using the one that like came with these strips, just so I'm sure that it's actually the correct gauge.
So that silicone one, is it got like a rubberized texture to it, or is it like that hard plasticky, almost like brittle?
The silicone one is like a nice flexible one here that you know, you could really like, it's very malleable. The ones that came with the blade are like harder, and
Yeah.
Yeah, I get all my wire from Remington Industries. They have free shipping, and you can make like custom wire sets. So like, here's like a. So anyway, here's some like 28 gauge. It's like thin PVC coating. So they have all different size of wire and different kinds of stuff there. And they sell on Amazon, but it's cheaper to buy it direct from them.
So I guess I'm the whack job here because I use straight up OFC copper speaker wire, super clean copper for the thick stuff.
I used to have a bin full of Ethernet cables. I no longer have a bin full of Ethernet cables because
you used it all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that stuff's awesome.
On my arc reactor, it's all Ethernet wires.
That stuff is great for that.
Yeah, like 24 gauge thin jacket. especially if you're doing like a bus, so that you need multiple solder points. You don't even have to strip it. You just kind of melt the jacket off.
Yep, because it's all color coded. I love that stuff.
Who would have known Tony Stark was building his arc reactor out of Ethernet wire?
Oh yeah, it's an obvious choice. Obvious choice. I'm also working on a proton pack now, and that's got a ton of Ethernet cables in it.
Oh wow, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it's a custom. We're doing some fun off-book stuff on that.
I love when people put lights into their props and cosplays and stuff. Like outside of lightsabers, just like the
Yeah, it
general.
looks so cool, like on those Mando suits and everything.
Mhm. I saw.
Yeah.
Speaking of a Mando one, I saw one dude. I forget his name on Instagram. I'm following him. He's got a jetpack, and in the exhaust ports of the jetpack, he has like a set of Neopixel LEDs that are programmed to start off red and then circulate with a white. So it looks like it's like sparking the fire, and then it turns into like a bright orange to make it look like the fire is ignited. And then he's got like a miniature, it's not quite a smoke machine, but it has the effect of like shooting fast, like thin air smoke to make it look like it's going to take off. So it's like a really cool jetpack.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been wanting to like hack a vape pen or something and just put like dog juice in it. But
right, so that you get it to smoke.
Yeah, so I cook it up with like a little pump.
There's a dude that makes specifically for cosplays, Wayne something designs, and he makes the full like pump. You can get like a wireless Bluetooth remote that you can have like in your hand, and it'll activate it like in your helmet, or you can have the wired version, have it run down your sleeve. But I seen this dude supplied it for one of those guys back in Star Wars Celebration, I think 2015 it was. They had the costume contest, and one of the dudes was cosplaying Starkiller in his Sith Stalker uniform with like the tan helmet and like the red tattoos and all that. And then he went like this, like one of those cool like poses, and then you just see like smoke coming through the holes in his helmet.
Ooh,
And
nice.
he used one of those machines. So yeah, it's really cool.
Jim Smith says, fun movie fact, the ribbon cable on the Ghostbusters pack was made by a company that went on to make the first Ethernet cable. Oh, went on to make the first Ethernet cables.
Nice.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Like here's
I'm
where I'm
gonna
at
make
so far with
you.
this thing.
Gosh, dude, that's freaking sweet.
So I've like filament LEDs in here.
Damn,
You are
Jamie.
kidding me. Get
Some of
out
the
of here.
stuff's like going off of like custom stuff. This
That's
is like
so
a battery
cool. I
pack
love
that's
one of
powering it.
Dude, the spinning red
Yeah.
light on the bottom cylinder, that's awesome.
I watched a video. That's not easy to do. That's like
Yeah.
one of the harder.
It was a lot of trial and error. At first, I just used like a regular like pixel ring, and
Yeah,
then what I
the
ended up
spinning.
doing is I like 3D printed a thing, so it's just like regular strip pixels, and then
Yeah.
I made like a channel and a lens for it.
Wow. Yeah, the video I watched was like, so hard to get it to look, the timing to look right on that and the
Yeah.
size of this. Wow.
It
Very
was a lot of
cool.
fun. Yeah. My friend asked me, it's been a while now, if I was interested in helping him soup up his. He bought it. It's like from the Spirit of Halloween store. He's like, "Could you make this thing look cool?"
Make it
And
look
it's
cool.
It's like you think.
And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds like fun." So I've had it
Sick.
for quite a while now.
Just like super vague. Just make it look cool.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I just
Like,
I just
Jordan,
want blinkies, like whatever. And I was like, "Yes, we can do that."
George Lucas talking about the creation of Darth Maul to Peter Serafinowicz. Just make him sound scary. Make him really evil.
Oh man. One funny quote on that topic is back when they created Spock for Star Trek, they thought that he looked like a demon from hell.
What?
He had those
With the ears.
eyebrows and the pointy ears. He was like
Yeah.
a demon from hell. It's like, okay, we have a different perspective these days, but
Right?
yeah.
Everything was controversial back then. That's funny. Leonard Nimoy is the Antichrist.
Yeah, you're saying the person in chat said the ribbon cable on Ghostbusters, was the first company, to make the Ethernet cables, that kind of stuff. Back in the day with all those movies coming out, small world kind of deal with everything having a humble beginning. I saw that ILM on Disney Plus. They're talking about like the creation of ILM.
I want to watch
And
that.
John Knoll, just a random fan, he was a student at the time. He was a fan of ILM, tried getting his dream job to work there. He ended up doing that, and he created like Photoshop.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
He created that whole program, everything like that, and then that's what kickstarted that development to move technology forward.
Nice.
You're old school when I started out on Photoshop version 1.
Yeah. Same.
For reals. That was the beginning of my graphic design career. Slow. Everything was slow.
I think I started on Photoshop too. I loved it. I wish it just stayed that way.
Right? Less buttons. All does the same shit.
Yeah.
Because they try to get fancy in those programs, and then it actually doesn't make it easier.
Right. They have all this stuff that like is unrelated to the job at hand.
And they got all these little pop-up windows now, like, oh, do you want to like clip the selection? It's like, you know what? I know what I'm doing. Stop with these pop-ups.
It's like, in like the latest versions, it's all like contextual tools and stuff like that. And every time there's an update, I have to reset my entire workspace because they change it how they think it should be. Like, no, I want the things that I want there. I want them to always be there, to never go away, and I don't want anything else.
Yeah, like stop getting fancy. We've been doing this for a while.
There he is. Sirach's here.
Rob's going to be lathing while Anthony's blading.
That's right, gentlemen.
Lathan and Bladen. Rob, I saw your post on Instagram the other day. I didn't know you had that many helmets, man.
Dude, I got a whole office full of crap.
Making me look like a chump. I saw you and I both have a Star Killer and we both have a Momin. I got to rewatch that video, man. You got some cool pieces.
Thank you. Yeah, I printed those. Well, I printed the Momin and the Star Killer. I got it from Galaxy Props.
Nice. Oh, Galaxy Props is where I got my Momin. He had it on Etsy, yeah. But I got a raw resin cast of it though. I didn't have him painted up because I wanted to do the comic book cover version where Vader's holding it and he's got this like blue hint to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, you guys won't be able to see my face, but you will be able to see what I'm doing here. And as you can see, I'm using brass bar stock to start off with these little glass eyes to replace for the blind.
Nice. Do you make cool squinty faces when you're lathing?
I do, because I'm starting. I'm like I said, I'll be 44 in a couple months, and my eyes are starting to go bad. So sometimes I'm like, what the fuck?
Cool.
Same here. That's why I got the double deckers.
I'm sorry, we're gonna miss that, Rob.
You got to put the cheaters on over your specs.
I do. I mean, I don't really use it for lathing because I can still see fine when I'm doing machining. But when I'm doing like soldering and stuff, and I'm doing like an LS2 pad, then I'm like, okay, I need to pull these puppies out. So if this gets too loud, let me know, and I will mute the mic so I don't interrupt your guys' conversation. So let me know. I'm gonna give it a test, and you can tell me.
Yeah, it's pretty loud.
Is that going to be a distraction? If it is, I'll just mute the mic.
It doesn't even sound like a lady. It just sounds like someone's fans on in their background.
I mean, it could get annoying, the on and off stuff. So, you know, if it interrupts, I will mute the mic. Not a problem.
Okay. I think I can mute you from here too.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. That works.
Just shop ambiance.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't play music because I play my music from my phone, and my phone's being used for the live stream. So that sucks for me. All right, guys, I'm getting to work. So do your thing.
Right on.
Cool.
So, Anthony, I made a one complete working soldering station out of the pile of soldering stations you gave me.
Oh, great.
So
Now, if you could utilize them, go ahead, or you know, I'll pay for the repairs if you don't have a use for it.
well, it kind of matches my power supply pretty nice. So, like,
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I kind of gave JB like a graveyard of old soldering stations that I had broken various ways over the years, and he said, "Wow, you really put these through their paces. They were like, it kind of looked like, you know, C-3PO before the oil bath."
yeah, I cleaned this one up pretty good. I'm kind of Frankensteining parts from a couple of them together, and then this is my my custom power supply.
Oh my gosh, dude! It looks like an old radio.
Yeah,
Look
so
at
I have
that.
like a high power side and like a low power side for like you know, the different things you need stuff for. So I have 30 amps on one side and 5 amps on the other side.
Nice. Look at that sexy strip.
Nice.
So I was successful here in making a pretty good seam.
Oh, it
And
does
it's-
look good.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to tell there where the seam is, so I think I'm pretty happy. And how I know, now I don't know if I can show this. I really hope I can pull this off, but the end of it here, like you might be wondering, well, how do you know what is 264 LEDs? Well, I set my board in my tester here to 264. So if you could see where my finger is, where the LED stops is 264. So I'm actually going to make a pencil line here, and that's going to tell me where to cut. And I will have about 8 inches left. So the meter long strip, which it is now, you know, 2.5 meters, is a meter, and take about 8.5 inches off. We're going to end up with about a 32.5 inch blade here once the tip is on there.
Hey guys, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, so I just changed over to my earbuds, and those tend to cancel out a lot of the noise and just pick up the voices. So let me know how this works out. Is that any better?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you barely
it feels
hear
the
it.
Sounds like you cut it in half. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now I can actually hear you guys talk and work at the same time. Cool. All right.
Well,
Sorry, carry on. My bad.
That
No, no,
that shop
I'm-
ambiance is the sound of progress.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
sure
muted
is.
you. I muted you as a test, Rob. Could you not hear us when I did that?
No, I can hear you. I just couldn't answer you
Okay.
guys. But then I switched over to the Bluetooth and it worked. And I guess it
Okay.
unmuted me.
Okay, because I was only muting you when Anthony's like kind of far away from his microphone, so I can go back and forth.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
So I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but try to see what I mean when I say it's high resolution. You could see these blaster deflects really coming off in a cool animation, like what they're intended to really have like all the LEDs like working together there.
Sick.
This is an
Got a
animated
fire blade?
blade style.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
This is a Profi blade style from FET 263 that has a animation with like yellow, white, and red. So those are the kind of the interesting things about the Dual Star Omega. And I will actually cut this here.
Now, do you have to cut it on one of the copper bands? Like, is there a cut point, or can you just chop it wherever? Because I know some
You
LEDs
can
like
kind of
that.
chop that wherever, and that's actually a good point, is that I will test it again after the cut, just to see. Okay, so you can see that last LED is still lighting, so I made my cut in a good spot. I try to make my pencil line for that cut in the in the most proper place, so that I actually make the cut right on that, and then able to save that last LED. And when you're really close up on these, like, I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but you could almost see the shadows in between, like, because I have a light blasting onto this silicone strip, and I could see my SMD LEDs like beneath it, and they're lighter than the space in between, which is darker. So I can kind of see where to cut, like not to cut right in the middle of an LED and kind of blast it. So, I could use this strip here for like inside of a lightsaber or something someday. It's very thin, and this could fit inside your hilt without obstructing anything. Like if you wanted, like, imagine having like 60 like a 65 LED strip as an accent, which is what this is. Very compact.
Or you can use that as a light dagger.
True. Or in a prop like JB makes, it would really be like a seamless strip. It would almost look like it was solid. So if you wanted to make an animation that was like constantly running around, or even like a Knight Rider thing going back and forth, I mean, it's gonna look the smoothest on a piece of this strip than anything else. I'm going to use a piece of this electrostatic tape to cover these copper connections here on the back, because the next strip that we put together is just going to sit right on here, but I don't want to have anything short out in the future on this blade. I do want to get them as close together, like sandwiched together as close as I can, and this tape is pretty thin, so if I can like lay this tape on there perfectly, no one will ever know that there's something there, but it'll protect it.
She wants to know what you guys are doing. We're making Neopixels.
What's Kitty's name?
I'm working on a book.
Her name's Josie, but we call her JoJo, or Mr. President.
Mr. President. Yeah, Diego hasn't been around. Usually he's all up in here trying to say hi to everybody.
Yeah, I got like 12 minutes left here until 9:30, and then I gotta be somewhere else. But
no worries. I wasn't going to make too long of a episode tonight, but pretty glad we got to see at least one entire strip so far of the Duel Star Omega, because I think you guys get the idea of the type of blade it is.
This is my first introduction to the Omega too, because I thought you only just did a Duel Star, and then it just kept going up from there, like Tri, Quad, and Penta.
Yeah, once I find these new strips, I try to do something with them if they work. And this actually turned into one of my favorite lightsaber blades that I like to play with because of the smoothness of it. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, it's not the brightest one.
Yeah.
And it's looking kind of dim here because I have a lot of light coming down for this video. But once it's inside the blade and diffused with your closed cell foam tube, it looks quite nice. And even though it's not as bright as, like, let's say one of these strips here, on the light meter, it does produce some pretty nice numbers that are akin to like what a Makoto blade reads out on our machine here. So a lot of Makoto colors, it's like 2000, 2500 on the lux meter, and those are the kind of numbers we're going to get out of a lot of these colors here. And a Makoto blade is very bright, so it might not be as bright as, like, let's say a Duel Star where you might read 4000 or 4500. The Duel Star Omega is going to have like twice the LED count, So for those people that are like, I gotta have the most LEDs on the block, you know, on a Dual Star Omega. If you just gotta have the most, and then someone said, well, it's not the brightest. Well, like, I got the most. All right.
Yeah, JB needs to get that chip made for the Nona Star. We need a 9-pixel blade. I'm talking like 1.5 thick lightsaber, super sword, you know. Cool.
Net zero diffusion.
Yeah.
just a beam.
Deca Star.
I did figure out like how to lay out up to 8, but it does get pretty silly.
Yeah, I think in that regard, there was like 0 diffusion except for the blade tube itself.
Yeah.
Wow. Unless you make
Maybe
a custom monster, 2-inch blade, 2-inch wide blade.
That's true. Makoto's got, you know, maybe I should have JB set up a diagram for the 1.25-inch diameter blade that, like, I got a couple from Makoto that I have, you know, an empty blade tube with the foam that's wider and bigger than a regular 1-inch.
Nice.
Maybe that could be something someday. But then you need a different saber with a different emitter, you know?
No, you could just use the socket adapter.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I think you told me that before. Yeah, I forgot.
Or you can have it look weird and just overhang on the emitter.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes outside the emitter. It goes like literally just like the opposite of what you expect.
You need like a buster blade, you know? Like a massive blade, but just for like a tiny hole. So have you done a dual or an Omega style blade with these LEDs in like a TriStar, or is it just a Dual Star Omega?
You're a step ahead of me, JT.
I'm thinking I'm playing 4D chess, all right? I don't know.
Me and JAD, Jedi Arms Dealer, today were talking about the possibility of a TriStar Omega. So you're absolutely right. We might do that. You know, I think that would be crazy, and I want to try that. So we are gonna do that as an experiment and see if that works. And you know, if it works well and Saber can power it, it's going to be 760 LEDs plus, and that's going to be like your face is going to melt because no one else is ever going to hold 760 LEDs in one lightsaber blade for the rest of time. So
that's when you need to make an Ark of the Covenant sound font. That only makes sense. You turn it on and everyone's face melts in the room.
It sings hallelujah.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to get that clip from Indiana Jones. Space.
Like,
I got that clip. I use that in my TriStar. In my Quad Star video, wherever all the faces are melted.
Oh shit!
That Quad Star preview.
And then there's the one from Flash Gordon, the old school one where his eyeballs pop out.
Oh, you're gonna have to get me that clip so I can add that in.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Is it in black and white, or the Flash Gordon movie?
It's the Flash Gordon movie, but it's what, 70s, 1970s?
Yeah, no, I don't remember that part.
Where he falls on the spinning floor and gets spiked, and his eyeballs pop out.
Oh, you know what that's reminding me though of is Total Recall, where they're on Mars and their faces exploding.
Yeah,
their eyes are popping.
It's about to get gory on Civilized Sabers.
Yeah, you're in the prime time right now. You can't be rolling that stuff. This isn't your after hours stuff.
Oh, true.
Speaking
of
older
that type of stuff, if you guys want to come and see gory, you're gonna have to come to my Killustration show, where I kill my friends with drawings, and those are pretty awful, pretty gory drawings that we do, and we do a Killustration where we kill each other. So check my comic book channel for that one.
Oh, I gotta see some of those.
Oh, I think
No
you're
way.
you're gonna laugh your ass off with the. Mundo says it's like 2 years later. Mundo said he never laughed that hard since.
Where's Mundo? Why
That's
didn't he
funny.
join us?
He's probably still at work because
Yeah.
normally I'll do the show a little later because Mundo doesn't get out of work till like 9:15.
Oh, gotcha.
9:30. So he's probably still at work. But I wanted to do an earlier stream tonight, not only to get, maybe give JB a chance to come on and stuff, but I didn't know how long my energy levels were going to last. And I've been kind of going to sleep by 10 o'clock lately to try to get better, faster. And so I knew I didn't want to do like a 10 to midnight type of thing.
No, man,
Yeah,
this time was great. Yeah, when he started. Just make sure you're drinking plenty of water.
Thank you. Yeah.
Always keep one.
Stay
Buy
fed.
special drinks like them electrolyte drinks and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because the drugs I'm on for my surgery, my only medicine was Tylenol and Gatorade.
The medicine of champions.
It was fun.
JB, what they told me at the neurologist yesterday, because the hospital sent me to a specialist, not knowing what was kind of going on with my twitches and whatever was happening. And they said this is like the cocktail for the people with COVID is to take 400 milligrams of magnesium a day for 6 weeks. So
A day?
do that if you can. They were saying that the doctor was gonna kind of help kick it and stuff like that. I'm thinking it's harmless. If your body doesn't need all that, it's not going to hurt anything. But that's what I started doing yesterday.
Yeah, the daily allowance for magnesium is 400 milligrams, so that's not like excessive. So I don't know, if you listen to the podcasts I listen to, people try to convince you have to take magnesium to sleep better too.
Say that again. They try to convince you have to take what?
Magnesium is supposed to help you sleep better too.
Right. They actually did.
Yeah, you were telling me that.
Mention that to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a bottle here, and I just never really took it, so maybe I'll try.
JB, I took out all my vitamins from my cabinet. I moved into this house 15 years ago. I emptied the cabinet the other day to see what I had. I used to take vitamins pretty religiously. I was good at it. I was good at taking my vitamins. I checked all my vitamin bottles. I had 33 bottles of vitamins. They were all expired in 2013.
Anthony was slaughtering the Flintstone gummies, I tell you what.
Yeah, the gummies. I need the ones that tasted like Sour Patch Kids, or else I was going to stomp my foot. But my mom had come here from Florida, and she didn't get to go back with her friends who drove her up because I gave her COVID too.
Oh, God.
And she's going to have to travel back by plane when this is all over. But, she's been helping and going through my cabin and just throwing everything away that is expired in 2011. So
Jesus.
That's funny.
Yeah. Emily hasn't been here in 2 weeks. She's first she stayed in a hotel for a week. To
she
isolate.
found a new boyfriend already. She called. She told me.
Well,
she found somebody without COVID.
yeah, it's my dad.
Damn
so
you, Spaceman dude.
It's cool.
And she found somebody that looks almost like JB, but he doesn't have COVID.
Yeah.
The perils of being a space pimp.
Yep.
And when you're traveling through different galaxies, you're gonna pick up some weird shit.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna have to call it.
JT, thanks for hanging out tonight. And
Thanks,
man.
yeah, thanks for letting me.
if you're around
come
on like Friday, we might do this again. So I'll send you a link.
Yeah, awesome, man. Hey, you guys
Later,
are awesome.
JT.
Yeah, take care.
Take care,
Likewise,
Billy.
JT. Have a good day. Night.
sort of see the effects of what I'm working on.
Yeah, you want me to blow your screen up?
No.
JB?
I'm working on a Necronomicon for a play.
Really?
So it's
What does that do? Does that read dead skin?
well, the lights are currently on top, but
Oh my gosh,
It's
Barbara would
gonna-
love this.
so I have a remote control for the booth, so that they can control the lights.
Oh yeah.
And before I do like final assembly on the cover, I need to get the programming because everything's going to be sort of paper mache in.
Can I see that again, JB?
Yeah.
Am I allowed? Look at that.
So this is
Dude.
here's the pages,
Oh, I love that.
and then cell phone
Wow.
battery. The electronics will all just be embedded in the cover.
Wow,
That's pretty
dude.
cool.
Oh, that's
JB,
why
you know what? That just gave me the idea for a totally different type of thing, but still a book. You remember Inspector Gadget? You remember Penny's book?
Yeah.
That would be sweet. That would be sweet to have like a
That would-
Penny's book.
That is that would be sweet. You are correct.
I'd have to rewatch an episode to remember exactly what it looked like, but from my memory, it was pretty awesome. That was like world's first laptop. They had it in Inspector Gadget in 1982.
All right, I gotta drop this clip for now.
After all, what are we? Merchants, miners, tinkers, toy makers. Hardly the stuff of legend.
I love that clip.
I don't know, guys. I think we're all kind of legendary.
Agreed. You know it, JB. Every day trying to be, right?
Do the best you can.
This clip cracks me up, though. I think Rob's getting close. Let's check it out.
Oh yeah, getting real close. This one's almost done. I still got 3 more to make. So I got 2 brass ones and 2 silver glass eyes I got to do.
Knocking
I
them
heard
out.
you had a couple of brass ones.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I heard you had a pair of brass ones.
I sure do. Right now, this one's just getting cleaned up, and then I will cut it off. It's almost ready to be cut off, so the threads are done. I already bored the hole for the shine through. This is the body. I'm going to do its little marking. Then I'm going to clean up the edges so they're not sharp. And then I'm going to chop it off, and then I'm going to do the other 3 after this. And then once all 3 are done, then I'll go ahead and bore out for the glass eye, and it'll be done.
Getting fast.
What's going on, Felicia? Felicia Marie is here.
What's up, Felicia?
I had to go grab my cheaters.
Cheetos?
Cheaters.
What are those?
Reading glasses.
Oh,
What's the highest power you guys have in your arsenal for
Oh,
reading
these aren't
glasses?
really that much.
I bought a pair of 6 times, and they're ridiculous. They hurt. They hurt. I can only use them for like 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah, these are 125, and they're still kind of strong. But they're good for when I'm wearing my glasses. These are the right magnification to wear over my glasses. When I'm not wearing my glasses, they're a little strong.
Yeah, I got the 6 times because I can like get so close to a PCB I can see anything, any type of solder bridging or inspecting
Count the
boards.
atoms.
Yep. Count the atoms.
Yeah. I'm trying to solder to like one of those really tightly trimmed off pads on a pixel strip, and it's killing me.
If I was downstairs, I could finish the TriStar blade I started today. All three of us, or
And
four of us,
able
would
to
be.
do my controls. I need
Right.
him.
Jim Smith needs that shirt. You talking about Rob's?
What was that?
I said Jim Smith says I need that shirt. I think he's talking about your shirt, Rob.
Oh, I had this custom made. So this is a Dickies work shirt, and I just put my Ciroc label on it and Imperial sign on it, and there we go.
Yeah, I figured that was a one-off. That's badass.
Yep. Thanks.
Shop styling. Building machines.
Got a rep, yo.
I'm adding a little bit of protection on my middle wire, my data, which is just going to insulate against any connection or anything that it touches.
I learned that one today. Smooth shirt.
Oh, thank you so much, Felicia. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit better today, and distracting myself doing this and talking to you guys is really helping too, because when you just sit there and feel sorry for yourself isn't good.
That was the best part of having the proton pack for me, because I started working on that right after my most recent emergency room trip.
Hospital sick.
Yeah.
So there's a line right here. Jedi Arms dealer, you'll be able to tell on one of your 332 strips. They do put a line, but there's only one of them. So if I screw this up, I told you had happened earlier in the video, earlier in the live stream, where I had destroyed one of these before. You have to start sort of guessing. If I wanted to cut here or here or here or here, I almost have to guess, but there is a faint marking on the back here. As the light reflects off the strip, you can almost see the individual LED backs here. I don't know if you can see that those are
That's
little
crazy.
rectangles.
Yeah, I saw it for a second. It's catching the light.
Yeah, and those are each SMD LED that's on here. So if I missed this one, which has a line on this side for the cutting, which they try to give you a really nice approximation of where the LED ends there, so that I can connect to the next strip, like we're doing here. If I do mess that up, there is more chances, but you don't get a line, so you kind of have to take a bigger risk every single time. But you do get the indentation on the back, which can kind of help.
Okay. Because between the pads, it's like 10 pixels, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Here's one of the super special book LEDs that I have here. Might look familiar.
What is that? Wait, that's for Quad Star?
No, this is one of the V2
It's
pixel
a
chips.
pixel chip.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Useful in all types of projects.
I think the V2 is I hand soldered all of those.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And I think I made you rush. I'm like, I need them now.
Is that what? Maybe it was like I just had extras and I just
I
populated.
think I needed them, and you're like, I got the parts to make like 100, but I got to do it by hand. I was like, please, pretty please.
And then I have like a bin of like the rejects here that I use in other stuff. Okay, why isn't this working?
Hey, Rob, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So this is that Saber I installed the last few days. I know you weren't in the stream earlier, but I got one of these bad boys.
Oh,
And
from TJ Wells Ignition. That is a beautiful hilt. He did a, they did a, him and Gary Morrison, right? Collab on that. That is a beautiful hilt.
So I put a glow in the dark marble in the middle. So when the crystal chamber shuts off, it like continues to glow.
Nice.
That is sweet.
Like it's cooling off
That
in
is
here.
the best idea.
And
That
then
is sick.
I did custom buttons.
Ooh, I like that. That is dope.
So they're just flathead LEDs, and I did like a acrylic spacer behind it, and so they light up with the second pixel that I programmed with the new Pixies, and then shot stuff. So yeah, I'm loving it. I have not been this excited about installing a Saber in a long time, so this was fun. Short.
Yeah, that is a beautiful hilt. I like it.
Super easy to install. I mean, crazy. Like I had it alive in 2 days, and then just programmed it and tweaked it for like another 2 days. It was done.
What size speaker were you able to get in there?
28, easy.
That was actually one thing I wanted to ask Rob about, because I was watching your video that you released, I think, the day before yesterday, and Rob had this Saber. I forget what it's called, but you showed it to us a couple times, and it's got a leather wrap, and it's got some lights that go up in there, and then when you take the leather wrap handle off, there is a metal chassis within. And then when he takes that metal chassis off, there is a plastic chassis within, right? And your speaker was in there really nice in like a pod that was detachable.
Magnetic.
I think I'm thinking of the same Saber. And what I was thinking for the one that you were going to machine for me was like, I wonder if something like that pod would be possible, but with a 31 millimeter size.
Yeah, absolutely. Since everything's being machined fresh, anything can be done.
Oh, that'd be crazy. That was my newest idea.
Yep. That can definitely be.
I have yet to hear those monster KRs.
I love those because those are like little subwoofers and they just sound so nice. It's almost like what the Saber needs if you don't have the Bluetooth stereo.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. Now on those videos I posted on the YouTube with those two hilts I recently did, I noticed that because I just got a new gimbal and I've been testing out the features on it, and I also have a lapel mic that I use, and the lapel mic quiets the noise, so it doesn't allow for you to really hear how loud the Sabers are. It actually lowers the volume on them in order so that it can pick up the voice better. And I noticed that when I was rewatching it just to make sure everything was good, and I was like, why does the Saber sound so low? And I was like, oh, it's because the lapel quiets it.
Oh, I did notice that. I did notice that there wasn't like registering that sound range as well.
Well, at least the mics are doing their job though.
Yeah, it's like vocal. It's like optimizing it for you, but not for Sabers.
Exactly. But trust me, those things are freaking loud.
When the 28 millimeter is set right in the Saber, like you make it, it is powerful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the resonance. As long as you do proper resonance, like you'll get some really good sound quality, even out of the 22 millimeter speakers. I actually prefer those over the 24. I just think they sound better because you can enclose them, as opposed to when you're limited to a 1-inch chassis and you opt for the 24 millimeter speaker. You don't get that good sound resonance that you would get out of a 22. So that's why when I do my chassis for 1-inch, I always do 22 millimeters. Even if customers ask me for 24, I go, no, I won't do it for 24. And they get mad at me.
Interesting.
But then I try to explain to them. They're like, okay. All right, starting the second one.
Anyone's wondering why there's a weird pattern here with my wires doing a little C turn, is because I like having a little spring action for my dual stars, so that if there's a shifting inside the blade, whether while I'm building it or while you're spinning it, you like we have a little give here, and there's a little wiggle room for them wires to settle in.
That's good.
Hey, Anthony, I wanted to ask you a question about that. Just a technique question, if there's a reason why you do it a certain way. Only because when I was watching you do it, I was like, oh, I would have done it differently. But, I wanted to ask you, is there a reason why you do it, why you wire it that way? And the question is, when you are, so I noticed you wire to the strips first, right? You do your wiring
Right.
to the strip first, and then you wire to the PCB, correct?
Correct.
So I was wondering, why is it that you do it that way as opposed to going to the PCB first and then making it to the wire to the strip? And the only reason I bring it up is because I noticed that you have more cluster when you're doing it, or when all the wires are already there and you're trying to put them on the PCB, as opposed to doing it to the PCB, and then just it'll be a lot easier to go straight to the strip because it's a bigger space. Just curious if there's a
Right. I think
technical
maybe
reason.
because like earlier, a few minutes ago, I was actually thinking how I will attack the second strip. And the reason why I wanted to post my connections here first was because when I like, let's say I had the wires attached to this PCB over here first, then I will kind of have to manipulate this second strip. Let's say maybe I would have to hold it like here, connect it, and then turn it over and sandwich it, because the way I'm connecting these on the backside would mean I kind of need access to the backside. I feel like if they were on the PCB first, then I kind of have to manipulate the strip and twist it and turn it and stuff like that. So to kind of take the stress off of that, what I like to do as my next step is to kind of like put maybe a piece of heat shrink around the bottom of the blade here, holding the blade together. Then I can kind of attach to the PCB and do my test, knowing that there's a really nice connection on this side. Because like right now I can, let's say, look, where's my little loop? I could look with my loop here and just make sure, like this is free. I could move it around and stuff.
Gotcha.
And I don't have to have it like tied down to the tabletop on the PCB and stuff while I'm, let's say something goes wrong or something, which I was saying earlier, it's not super common, but something could go wrong,
There's always something could go wrong. Yeah, no, I get you. I hear you.
That's why I like to keep testing. I was telling JAD before, I like to just keep testing like every step of the way, because you never know when one of these little LEDs is going to kind of, show up bad or something. At the most vulnerable time when you're making a blade or in a blade is when you're making it. Once it's done and in the tube and it's been working, you're pretty much good,
Right. Well, I can totally get the whole testing part, because it would suck to have all that done and then something not working and you got to take it apart.
Totally.
Yeah. To Anthony's point, I was wondering why I was having problems here, and one of the LEDs on this chip won't light up green.
Ooh.
So I'm glad I found that before I put this all together. Going back to the crystal, I got this thing a while ago. I don't even remember what kind of crystal it is.
Nice.
You know, it's cool because it's got like all these different facets, but it's just a rock on the inside, so it doesn't light up.
That's still cool though.
Yeah.
That work looks sweet in something. Prop.
Like
Hey,
a really
Space.
natural looking crystal.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah,
looking
that's
at?
good. Oh,
Can you see
sorry.
your screen?
Here we go.
It's like,
Oh wow. Oh, yeah, it's like in all directions too.
yeah,
It's like
it's
rock
awesome.
candy.
Oh, I thought it was like a geode at first, where one side was like just looked like a rock and the other side was crystals. That's
No,
badass.
it's kind of the opposite of a geode.
Damn. So yeah, right. It's like an inside out geode.
So I got this and I was like, oh, this is gonna look so cool. And I got it back and it's like, it does not light up at all. It's heavy, so it's definitely got like a rock on the inside.
That's badass. Hey, Space, dinner's ready. So is it cool if I dip out?
Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's close down the stream. Before I finish this, because this is probably going to be a little while longer, and I kind of want to wrap it up as well. So we can actually end the stream here, and I thank you guys for being a part of this, and thank you to everyone that was watching. And I hope you enjoyed seeing at least half of the Dual Star Omega come together. There's 264 LEDs we saw light up on this strip. There'll be another 264 on this side for a total of 528, which is the highest resolution blade you're going to be able to get. And check soon on CivilizedSabers.com for the Dual Star Omega chip. If you want to make your own Dual Star Omega, these are going to be available for a very reasonable price, and you can go find the rest of the parts. I'll make a parts list up, and you can build your own Dual Star Omega. I hope this video helped you do that, and we're going to do more of these. Come back maybe this Friday. We'll be back online here, creating one of these or a different type of blade from Civilized Sabers. So thank you very much.
All right, guys, have a good one.
You
Hey,
too,
you
Rob.
too,
Yeah,
Rob.
bye.
Good meeting you, JB.
Good to see
Later,
you. pal.
JB.
Till next time.